I know people hate my stance on this, but I will remind everybody in the crowd that if you are under 18, you cannot consent. And depending on your state, I think 13 is the youngest age to work in the United States. So all that cute kid content, that is forced labor. You following, liking, contributing, sending gifts, that is contributing to forced labor. These kids legally cannot consent. Some of them are infants. They don't even have words yet. But we have seen from the Instagram generation, kids who from their first moment had their cute little tushy put up on the internet. When they turned 18, they sued their parents because they were like, I never would have agreed to any of this, especially not you profiting off of my bare bum on a bearskin rug. I know it's adorable content. I know it's wholesome content. But if we're being honest, there is a difference between like being friends and being family and then working with your friends and family. Your child goes from being your child to being your paycheck. That dynamic shifts fundamentally. You cannot argue that point. I mean, you can try, but you are wrong. When a family makes their child their breadwinner, it changes them. We have 80 years of Hollywood parents' history to prove this. We literally had to put in something called a Coogan Law to try to protect children because it's just so known that if you don't do that, parents will just take all that money because it's my kid. We have seen all the reality television kids, from the Duggars to John and Kate Plus 8, Sister Wives. Those kids are not paid. They are not compensated in any way. I mean, in theory, some of them were supposed to have money set aside, and no. To the parents moving out of California, unless they explicitly state, well, we're moving to Tennessee, but here's proof we set up the savings account for our kid, their silence is telling you what they didn't do. They're moving out of California. You know why. Well, they didn't explicitly say. Well, it's not like rapists run around the country all day, every day going like, I'm a rapist, you just don't know it yet. People don't generally rat on themselves, but their silence is your answer. But, in a shifting world where politicians are now telling kids, like, hey, if we cut school funding and there's no, like, Head Start programs, there's no breakfast programs, there's no subsidized lunch programs, get a job. We are going to see a rise in kid content and parent family content. Those kids cannot legally consent, but desperate times call for desperate measures. A lot of parents are looking at, like, not having a house, but they have a cute kid. And we've seen from a lot of the wholesome, like Utah sister wives, trad wives kind of stuff, it looks great on camera. It violates like every labor law in the country. No, you're not supposed to starve your kids so they smile on camera. As people get more desperate, you're going to see more kid content. As more people, try to get into gig work, you can. A lot of these family channels have millions of followers. It's a significant paycheck if you can get it done. But just remember, if they are under 18, legally they cannot consent. And work laws in their state, if they're under 13, there isn't even a law in the country that allows them to work. But people are desperate, and desperate people do things. And your likes and follows and support enable it. Even if it's cute, even if it's wholesome, even if it's adorable, those kids are not consenting. And more than likely, that money will not be saved for them for a rainy day. It will be used to save their parents now. But as a family, if you can't send your kid to work at McDonald's, you shouldn't be able to send them to work on YouTube. I don't care how cute they are, and some of them are very cute. They cannot consent. But we know we're sliding into a recession and so much more, and more people will get more desperate really quickly. Be very cautious with your likes and follows of child and family content.